Hi, I'm Tim and welcome to WatchYouWant.com. Thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at a watch that recalls the glory days of early Panerai, what's often known as the early Vendome period after the company was purchased by the Richemont luxury group, and one of the iconic early Vendome models was the PAM 28. This is the Panerai Luminor Power Reserve with black PVD case. Now, before I go any further, I should clarify that there was a re-edition of this watch in 2009. So popular and also so scarce was the original that there was a hue and a cry from the Paneristi community for access to a second flight of them. This is not one of those watches. That watch, which debuted at the Salon International in 2009, is different from this one in several very clear, aesthetic, easily spottable ways, and I'm going to highlight that in a minute. This watch is historically authentic to the original 1999 issue of 1000 PAM 28 Power Reserve watches. It features all of the important features, condition, and accessories that make that original watch the collectible to have. Now here's the thing about this one right here. This is how you can tell it apart from the reissue. The new one has a different printing on its dial. The graphics are the place where you start. The original PAM 28 says, as you see here, Panerai Luminor Power Reserve Automatic. Those are the 4 lines of print. The new one only has 2 lines of print. It says Luminor and Panerai, with Luminor on top and Panerai immediately below. Moreover, the original features a fully calibrated power reserve at 6 o'clock. This is the iconic feature of the watch. Although both watches use the Soprod 9040 movement, which is an ETA a 28922 with a power reserve module added by Soprod for Panerai. Only this example, the original B series PAM 28, features that fully calibrated scale with the first roughly 5 hours of power reserve colored white as a special attention getter. Little notice your watch is about to run down. Now, moreover, although you can't see it here, the edges of the power reserve cutout, it is actually cut into the dial. They're actually angled rather than running perfectly horizontally parallel to the side-to-side cut of the Hobnail guilloche. And that's the next important feature that I want to highlight before I move into more differences between the original and the 2009 re-edition. This watch, let me see if I can capture it, but it features a beautiful, what's known as Paris Hobnail. Not quite a clou de Paris because that's a diamond cut. This is more like the tapisserie that you see on an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. It has about the same size of cut and the same horizontal and vertical cut pattern. It really sets this watch apart, and I think I'm just about capturing it now, if you can see it near my thumb. That hobnail adds a lot of texture to the dial, and if there's just one objection I have to the clean aesthetic of the highly legible basic Panerai Luminor dial, it's that it's just a little bit spare, just a little bit austere, like there's some negative space looking for a reason to be. Panerai found some way to fill it without, as artists call, being afraid of the void. They leave that negative space, but they add texture, visual interest, articulation. I think it's a very elegant way. It's the same way Gerald Genta dealt with the large expanses on the original Royal Oak. Tremendously elegant. I think it's a beautiful touch that really makes this watch. And this watch was also memorable, in addition to that hobnail, because it was one of the original PVD Panerai. Now, back in the late 90s when this came out, by virtue of being one of the first black PVD Panerai watches, it was also one of the first black watches, period. This is one of the watch references that helped to start that craze, along with the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore End of Days. These were really the original black watches and the grandfathers of every black watch today, up to and including the ceramics. They're all aping this classical look. Now on the back, you could see more details that make this watch distinct from the original distinct from the reissued PAM 28. The original, as you see here, features this little fish waterproofing symbol right here. The new one actually features an Officine Panerai OP overlaid logo, and the way the limited edition text is cut into the caseback is different on the newer model. It actually features the millissimation out of 1000 etched into a shaded rectangular box. So even on the caseback, there's a distinct difference in the way the two are laid out graphically, and no one will ever mistake this dial with its distinctive printing for the re-edition. Everyone who owns the re-edition wants to own the original. And now, thanks to WatchYouWant.com, you can. Because this PAM 28, the original Luminor Power Reserve Black PVD, is available with its full box, papers, all original factory accessories, everything that you would have received if you actually found a Panerai authorized dealer back in 1999 is included with this watch, and that includes the critical jeweler's tool and the accessory strap that came with the watch. So if you want to get started strap swapping with Panerai, it's kind of a subculture unto itself. You've got all the tools you need. Your first alternate strap and the jeweler's tool to start swapping out aftermarket pieces if you want. This watch is in outstanding condition. It does show some signs of wear, I'm not going to lie. The original black watches were a little bit inclined to pick up scuffs and scrapes from time to time because PVD was in its early days technologically. This one is a remarkable survivor. It retains virtually all of the original factory finish. Some signs that it was worn, but you can check those out in high-resolution photography on our website, watchyouwant.com. I highly recommend that because you will probably not find a more intact original B-Series 1999 Panerai Special Edition Panerai Luminor Power Reserve PAM 28. This one has all the accessories, outstanding condition, impeccable provenance, and the bottom line is it's in outstanding functional condition as well. And because watches are meant to be worn, I'm going to show you the obligatory wrist shot right there. That's on a 6 1/3 inch wrist, 16 centimeters for the metric folks. Wears very well, even on a smaller wrist, and with that black case flowing seamlessly into the black dial, it actually looks even bigger than its nominal 44mm measurement. This is a watch that's a classic, a collectible, and is only going to increase in value over time, but is also very wearable. And I gotta say, it's got a palpable sense of fun to it between the black dial, the hobnails, the power reserve, and the color coordination with the green strap, the black dial, the light green lume. Beautiful watch, lots of fun. There's a reason why Panerai reissued this one. So check it out on our website, watchyouwant.com. We are the luxury pre-owned watch authorities. We are vintage and early Vendome Panerai authorities as well. I'm confident that if you're looking for a collectible Panerai, something that's hard to find and universally respected, this PAM 28 will be the watch you want.